Hey YouTube, welcome back to my kitchen. Hear that? It's the sound of my dog drinking, but also my dishwasher not running. I finally got ahead of the dishes. Today I am going to be shooting several videos, but we're going to get off to a good start by having a good breakfast. I'm going to be making some breakfast tacos with klobase, and instead of coffee and tea this morning, I'm going to be trying a new hot chocolate recipe that I've never tried before with actual chocolate, not cocoa powder, so I'm really excited to try that. I thought I would bring y'all along with me. So let me get everything set up and we'll get started. I'm making 2 servings of hot chocolate, so I'm going to start with 2 cups of milk. And I'm going to pour that into my saucepan. I just realized I didn't even need to use my measuring cup because my pan is measured. It's okay. Next, we'll measure out our chocolate. For each cup of milk, I want 3 ounces of chocolate. I'm going to be using 60% today to give it more of a French hot chocolate flavor. I'm also going to be adding a stick of cinnamon while the milk simmers. By the way, I did turn the milk on to about a level 4 on my gas stove. No.
After we tried this, I realized the chocolate chips had an unintended consequence. Because these are chocolate chips and not baking chocolate or not a bar, they probably, similarly to shredded cheese, have a coating on the outside to keep them from melting together, and that caused the hot chocolate to really thicken up a lot after it started to cool. So if you're sensitive to that, I would recommend either using a bar of chocolate or baking chips instead of just regular chocolate chips, or you can water it down with a little milk.
Alright, here are my 6 ounces of chocolate. Once my milk is just under a boil, I will go ahead and add this in. I'm gonna go ahead and toss that cinnamon stick in now though, so it has some time to cook into the milk. So here's the milk. It's heating on medium-low. The cinnamon stick is underneath. Here it is. And I've got my chocolate at the ready. While I wait on the milk to boil, it's still pretty cold. I'm going to start getting breakfast ready, and I'll start by chopping up our sausage, our klobase. Now, if you've never heard of klobase, that's okay, I forgive you. It's actually a Czech style sausage, usually made with pork or beef, or sometimes a blend of the two, and it's got heavy amounts of black pepper and caraway seed. My husband, his father's side is Czech, so I do cook with this. This is a real treat for us. It used to be only around Christmas that he would get this, and we do have to drive about an hour to pick this up at a store because they don't sell it everywhere. We've got to go to a gas station in a little tiny town to get this, but it's definitely worth the drive. We've actually got several packages in our freezer right now that hopefully will last us most of the year. I'm just going to give this a rough chop so we have a nice even distribution throughout the eggs. And then I'll go ahead and get my eggs ready. Actually, one more thing I need to do before we start cooking the eggs and sausage is to heat up my tortillas for the tacos, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I have preheated this pan to about a 7, it's a medium high, and I'll let this heat up for a little bit. The water is just now evaporating. I washed it recently. So I'll let this heat up for a few minutes, and then I'll toss on a few tortillas, and then I'll go get my eggs ready. And the last step is to get our scrambled eggs ready, so I'm going to go ahead and finish off the last 5 of our eggs. I say the last 5. It's the last 5 in this package. I'm actually going to be doing a pantry challenge coming up this month. I'll have another video talking about that, but oh, look at that. But I bought 30 eggs. That's the most eggs I've ever bought. This is my last pack of 12. While I rinsed my hands off after the eggs, I smelled the tortillas and they were ready to be flipped, so I did that real quick. These take no time at all once the pan is heated up, so you really kind of want to keep your eye on these. Okay, these tortillas look really great. They're done, so I'm gonna put them to the side and finish up the eggs. I'm just gonna add about a splash of milk to these, some salt and pepper, maybe a little paprika, whip them up real good, and then I'm gonna get them tossed in my pan. And I'm just gonna add these eggs to my hot pan. Scrape on the stuck down bits so that it doesn't burn, just like you would normal scrambled eggs. And right before the eggs are done, I'm going to toss the sausage. Just give this a quick little reheat. My husband smoked this the other day. This is looking about done, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull this all to the cooler side of the pan, turn the heat off, and I'm gonna shred some cheese over it and let that melt. Is that better? This will be ready in a few minutes, just as soon as the cheese melts. Quick update on the milk over here. Still not doing a whole lot, which is fine because I couldn't really keep my eye on it, but I'm gonna go ahead and turn this up to about a 6 or a 6.5. That's usually where I can get it to start boiling. And then just before it boils, I'm gonna toss in the chocolate chips and start whisking. In fact, I'll go ahead and toss my whisk in here, and I'll go ahead and get my sugar ready. Alright, you can see the milk is getting just ready to boil, so I'm going to go ahead and toss in the chocolate chips. Looks like some got a little warm. Alright, that's it. And then I've got about 1.5 tablespoons of homemade brown sugar, and I just put out a video on homemade brown sugar, so if you are interested in learning about that, go check that out. And I'll give this a good stir until the chocolate is melted. It does really smell like cinnamon. It smells really good. And then I'm also going to add just about a teaspoon of vanilla. So let me go grab that. Well, I did not feel myself adding the vanilla, but I'm going to check the thickness and the taste on this. If it coats the back of a spoon, it's nice and thick, so I think we're good on the thickness.
And the cooler it gets, the thicker it gets.
It looks luxurious. Alright, let's give it a taste. Oh my gosh. Wow. I am never making powdered hot chocolate again. Here's the last shot of the breakfast tacos. I'm gonna go serve Ian his breakfast before the tacos get too cold, and then I'll be right back to talk about the hot chocolate. Well, I was not going to originally drink it out of a clear mug, but I feel like I have to now. I've already fished out the cinnamon stick, but okay, watch this. It is so rich and creamy. I'm gonna give my husband a little bit more than half a cup, but... Alright, well guys, thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen today. I hope that you learned something. I definitely recommend you try this hot chocolate recipe. It was not that hard, and especially with the chocolate chips, I didn't even have to chop any chocolate. And once the milk was boiling, it really was a pretty simple and quick process. So if you like this video, give it a like. Feel free to share if you think somebody would benefit from this. If you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you are tuned in for some future projects of mine. Like I mentioned before, I'm going to be having a future video soon talking about the pantry challenge and what I'm going to be doing in regards to that. So thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!